Okay, there we go. Um, Falling in love with love is falling for make believe. Falling in love with love is playing the fool. Hello! Hi, Auxiliary NFS, Sheila Birdie, Neko Neko Suki Hua. Y'all are coming in. How are y'all doing today? As you can see, I have my beloved Achao and my beloved Wanjong. No, my frozen grapes. Um, I am ready. Oh, and I have some space balls. Hi, Cookielicious. I happened to, when we went to the grocery store, they have always have a clearance section, and I saw these space balls and was like, huh, I'll give it a try. Hi, Story Jumper. They live up to their name, space balls. They are literally circles, and the inside of them is a bunch of space. It's pretty awful. I can see why they were in the clearance section. Hi, Kit Ghoul. Nice to meet you. At least I don't think I've seen you here before. You said you're playing a game while listening to me. Hey, do what you do. There are times when I am multitasking. You know, sometimes you can do more than one thing at once. Hi, Stephanie. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing good myself. I started work, and then after like 30 minutes, I looked and I was like, why is it only 30 minutes later? I was so sad thinking that my shift was going to drag. But then next thing you know, I looked up and I was like, 27 minutes left? Awesome. So here I am after work. You have to go out in the rain? Why? No one wants to do that, except for the people that want to do that. It looks pretty decent outside where I am. Do you have an umbrella? Right, because if you don't, then we need to give you one. We need to give you an umbrella if you don't have one. Is there an umbrella emoji? I don't even know. Umbrella. There is. I'll give you one that's dry. Yeah, I already opened it for you and everything too. So yeah, my morning has been going pretty well. Actually, while working, I spent time listening to QJJ again. I started over. I know we're reading it, but I just started it over yesterday just to have some noise. But even with it just being noise, my brain was still paying attention. So here I am in volume one, even though we're starting volume five this Saturday. So we'll see how my brain does. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. Today we are talking about what chapters are we talking about again? What's it like? Wait, 48 through 47 through 53? Hold on. Why is it that I don't remember? Mm-mm. 47 through 53. Okay, yes, that is what we are discussing. You sped watch all yesterday to make it to this one. Well, kudos to you because that was a lot of content like to cover because we talked forever and there's basically no editing in the recaps. I refuse to go back and edit those. I'm just like whatever. Just have what is in there, whatever. So kudos to you doing all of that just to get here. But we have a more efficient method now, I think. But generally speaking, at least the first 15 to 30, I know that's a wide gap, minutes is just us chatting about random things. And then we actually get into the story. Today, yes, today I have my beloved hibiscus tea, which is actually not hibiscus tea. I literally put one leaf of dried hibiscus in here, but it's really the tea bag that does still have hibiscus in it. But it still changed the color so much. I'm like, I feel like I can make fruit punch with this and deceive My godson and his brother and little sister. Maybe. We'll see. He said, today my Sakura Hatsune Miku arrived. So cute. I want to see it. A little figurine. I want to see it. Not the entire tea bag inside. Yep. Whole thing in there. Whole thing. Even the stem thing. Because they always fall in at some point anyway. So I'm just like, whatever. You're triggered. You listened to the previous chat since you were not able to join. Ah, okay, good. That you listened to the previous one. Hello. I'm just saying hello. There we go. If I don't know how to say it, I think it's in my best interest that I don't attempt to say it. But welcome. Just wrap it around your handle. I have done that. And some way, somehow, it all ends up getting back in there. Trust me. I have. Look, let me drink my tea the way I want to drink my tea, NFS. It'll be fine. You said you're fine. Are you sure? I saw you said you had to restock on your frozen grapes. Our child has claimed it. No, seriously, like every time I would tie it around this handle, it'd be fine for a while. And then I'll just like look away and look back and the whole thing's in there. So I just gave up today and was just like, let's just start with it in there. So it's not grape season. Honestly, I don't even know when grape season is. I just know that I like to eat them year round. And they're usually good. It's just a matter of what grapes are available at the grocery store. I tend to always lean toward green grapes, actually. But, if they don't have them available, then every now and then I'm like, fine, I'll get red grapes. I can just call you Ari, like the singer. Okay. I hope I'm saying that right, because I'm not sure who the singer is. So, September, October. Well, we are well past that time. We are well past that time frame. Oh, well. Who cares? I'm going to eat my grapes anyway. You said you froze grapes for the first time because I made them sound so good. Did you like it? Or did you freeze them for the first time for today? Do you like them? Please say yes. Well, if you don't, then say no. But I hope so. Like, if I could just turn people out to eating frozen grapes, that makes me feel good. You said here, but lately in store, even African ones be gone. Also, let me turn this down because I know people are chatting in whatever discords. Oh, you sent your hold on, you guys, I'm gonna show you. This is Stephanie's little figurine. It's so cute. And look at me in the background. That's so adorable. Where'd you get it from? I'm glad I looked before putting it away. Yeah, if you guys ever send me something in Discord while we're chatting, just like always let me know and then I'll go look. But yeah, it became official food of Mari's channel. And it really was not intended. There are certain things that have become official on my channel that was totally not intended. Like to the well. All I know is remember expressing how badly I wanted a specific character in QJJ to go to the well. And then after that, everything just kind of took off. And people were like, yeah, to the well. And I'm like, wait, what is this? What have I done? So, which, by the way, for those of you who did not see in Discord or are not a part of the Discord, we have some shirts. I have applied to Amazon merch and it takes about 14 days to get approval. And then after that, I don't know like how long it would take for me to for how long it would take for them to like approve of the shirt designs and get it up and everything. But I just wanted to let y'all know that it's in the process. So we will be having some To the Well shirts and Possible but Terrifying. And then one that was mentioned, someone was like, I want shirt. And I was like, okay, cool, figure it out. Is All Aboard the Choo Choo Train. Not choo choo, choo choo, as in sui bu choo. So that was like the last one. But anyway, To the Well. The Legacy of Concubine Way. Exactly. She started this whole thing. It's like it was such an insignificant thing when I read it. I was like, dang, well, they just put her down the well. And then as soon as another character came up, I was like, to the well. Also, sorry if that was really loud. Oh my God. I just, y'all. Well, Guardians, grins. So, yeah. But I'm very excited to see where this goes. Also, I started recording. I've done 3 chapters thus far. I'm like, if I could just do like 2 chapters a day, I think that'd be fine. But I'm saying that now because I haven't been recording QJJ. Probably when I start up again, I'm gonna be like, just 1 chapter a day. But I've started recording this, and it feels so weird because I'm like, I've got Chingyu's voice. Like that's just easy. I feel like it's Wanchung's voice that is escaping me. So if y'all see me go, if the voice matures over time, at least in this book, just know that I'm finding my footing. And then the other crazy part I thought about for recording this series, for Patreon only, is then switching to a new voice here after Wanjung is gone. I'm like, wait, because I can't keep the same voice, right? No, because it's a completely different body. Also, yes, I can say it because we're in those chapters. I just wrote it. Also, my brain always hears a general's voice much differently. Like there's a certain sound that generals just have in my head that I pretty much go with all the time. So you say, yay! You try to read your own writing at yourself just to see how it would be for audio. And OMG, I admire you so much more now. You do so well. Thank you. Sometimes I question my own capabilities. Especially when I like go back and listen to something again. I'm like, I probably should have said this like that. Oh, I should have said this like that. Oh man, I wish I would have said this like that, like all the time. Or when I'm listening, because I don't always listen to audiobooks, kind of on those, but I was listening to the first 2 audiobooks for this series, and I just love the man's cadence the entire time. And I'm like, I need to get to this level. How do I get to this level? So, thank you. I am truly a novice in this whole voice acting, audiobook, voice recording realm, but it's been a really, really fun journey. And yeah, it's just really fun. You have to go to work in 30 minutes, but you will be in the background. You won't be able to comment. That's okay as long as you're here. But you can always comment later or never comment. We're just happy you're here. You said general's loud. It's not that I see a general as loud. More so like the timbre of the voice is just always pretty much the same. Like the way that I voice Lu Guangbai in QJJ. Which, don't get me wrong, there are several generals technically, so they're voiced differently. But when it comes to generals overall, that's just like, that is the voice that I see. Generals or just people in the army. Is that that's not sexist? I can't think of the word I'm looking for to feel like all people in the army have this particular voice, even though I have to change them up a little bit for specific characters. Hey, Megan! How's your pinky, by the way? My reading just sounds slushy. What? Well, now I want to read some of your work. Send it to me so I can take a look at it, just to see it. Your diction is amazing. Oh, well, I'm really glad to hear that. I would sure hope so. I would feel incompetent if my diction was not good because I've been in choirs my whole life and have we've sung in so many different languages and had to break down everything we're saying. I would just feel very incompetent. It would be so bad. Not to mention, at some point, I thought I was going to be an English teacher. I don't know what I was thinking about that. But also, I did teach English for a little bit, just not as a standard English teacher because no, just teaching it as a foreign language. It's a gruff. My reading sounds good sometimes when I'm familiar with the text because acting background, I can totally see that for you, yes. You also stumble over words a lot. Don't worry, I stumble over words all the time, which is why the majority of my readings are actually just recordings. I know there are several people who do like live readings. Um, Applause to them for doing that. But I do know some of them do live readings, but they just kind of read it in a more monotone, if you will. Like they're just reading literally, whereas I'm trying my best to be like in the moment, in character, even if someone's not saying anything. And I feel like just reading the words versus trying to act the words, it takes a different level of stress. But I cuckoo for Cocoa Puff words all the time. And I'm just like, and but when it gets extremely excessive, then I know it's time for me to stop reading, take a little break because my brain is jumbling everything up and it becomes very unpleasurable. So I'm like, nope, put the book down, put the book down. But I also noticed that I make really like so many mistakes when it's a book I don't enjoy. Like every 5 seconds, every sentence, it's like a mistake. And I'm like, wait, stop, go back. And sometimes I have to do it like over and over again. I'm like, okay, not enjoying this one. But I could totally imagine your reading is good, Megan. Megan has some of the best laughs for anyone who did not know. She shared them with us in Discord. It's got a witch's laugh, a gremlin laugh. Stellar. And just, a psycho crazy person laugh, which apparently someone said that I initiated that. Don't know what we're talking about. Mari doesn't initiate anything. Mari is innocent. Maybe your writing is slushy. I can't have it. Okay. You said you can never even read your presentations. You have to have notes and retell it because otherwise my brain and mouth just won't do it. Purple Pinky of Ouch is doing a bit better. That's good because you've been good. Very good. Very good. Um, Also really random, but I want some pizza. Okay. SpongeBob Rainbow Meme. Power of editing. You did the other Nelson match. Yes. Yes. You can't even process when someone is reading to me in monotone. I can. I can. I don't know why. It's for some in certain scenarios, it hits a different part of my brain that is okay with it. Like I'm okay with the monotone. Not all the time. Like I couldn't do it 24/7, but in certain scenarios, it just I don't know. It clicks. But I know it's not necessarily favorable. Podfic readers are on a different level to me. Mhm. My favorite Podfic reader is Kat. Period. There was another lady who was a Podfic reader that I absolutely loved on AO3 because Kat is on YouTube. This lady, she specifically did smut, but I can't find her channel anymore, her page, her profile anymore. And I'm like, where did you go? Why did you abandon me? So I guess that's it. So Kat is my favorite. But yes, Podfic readers are super fun. Brain checks out. especially cold readers, keeping such a casual air, reading with every mistake. Yes. And I think when I first started, I would leave like mistakes unless they were like super big. But now every time I try to take out every single mistake when I'm recording. Now, the mistakes that happen during live sessions may not necessarily get rid of all of those. I don't necessarily want it to be like a professional audiobook experience because it's not even close. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to, so it just depends. But monotone talking is the same as terms and conditions reading to me. Who reads terms and conditions? That's potent. That's really potent. Okay. I barely put one in there. Let me show you. Bruh. Oh. It enlarged? Well, that's the problem. Okay, I see my mistake. Y'all. The, the hibiscus was not this big when I put it in here. Woo, that's strong. Hold on. Let me just. Ooh. It's still good, but whoa. I don't. Why are you so hard to take off? I don't want it to marinate in there anymore. Lord. Okay. Atya, why didn't you warn me? Jeez. Okay, this cup of my husband's. See, this is why I won't claim this cup as mine because it does. What are you doing? Nikama. Y'all just watch me struggle for a little bit. Forget it. You are always kind of exhausted. Asthmatic wheeze laugh. What did I miss? Some context. You were a stage actor all your life. And a scare actor for 6 years. Oh, okay. Scare. You have a large repertoire of wacky, evil laughs you can do. And I really want to hear all of them. I know that Discord was hating on you for a while with that gremlin laugh. Oh my gosh. You would love to do readings, but your disc makes you change up words. Makes reading out loud very difficult. You sound like you can't read. Well, I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere. It's one of those things where you just got to get comfortable with it, you know? And then even when you get comfortable with it, you're still going to make mistakes. Like there is this lady I follow on TikTok because I've come across her readings and I like them a lot because she sounds different from all the other audiobook readers that I've come across. And she'll do like live sessions where it's an official audiobook release and she's in one of her sessions and she constantly is like going back to fix a mistake, or she, like myself when I'm reading, puts a word in there that's not in there or just replaces a word. It's like what? And to see her go back and she's like, what am I doing? Can I not read? So it's one of those things you just have to get used to, you know? Just work that muscle and you get better and better, but you'll never be perfect because we're always going to make mistakes. And there are so many other factors that go into it, like how tired you are, how invested you are, how easy it is to understand the plot, those kinds of things. So lots of comments when you looked away. Ew, NyQuil. Cold reading was the worst for theater rehearsals. Yeah. I've only done maybe like 2 cold reads in my entire life. I don't like them. Enlarged? That's what. Why am I so late on these comments? That's what something you said. Yes, my hibiscus enlarged. It was, yeah. Wish I could talk more and chat, but I'm on the road. Yeah, I saw you said that in the beginning. That's okay. We still love you. You can't read out loud. It seems tiring. It seems tiring or it is tiring. Because you won't know unless you try. The only thing that scares me more often than cold reading is cold translating. Ooh, what happens to me sometimes, and I'm like, no, different skill set, not with my short-term memory. Hmm. Um, I don't know if I prefer this like cold or hot. I don't know. Anyway, um, let's see. I think we have randomly chatted enough that we can go ahead and get started. So let me. But yeah, I was just in my Discord talking about a channel specifically for reading, where people could just like read a segment of whatever story. It doesn't even have to be Don May. And people could chat about it, discuss it if they wanted, or it could just be a place where people practice their reading if they wanted to. But not many people seemed interested. I know I got a lot of lurkers on Discord, so that is what that is. But for all the people that are active, it was only like 3 people that were interested. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe we won't be doing that. Mm, you have a list of fics you wish you could pod fic, but don't have the time. Mm, and you would have to ask the author if you could. Absolutely. Read your own fic. Absolutely. Oh, your phone screamed. Ah! Yes, I do have the goat. It's currently in the box. I don't think there was anything in these chapters that was goat worthy or sad violin worthy. So I'm gonna just leave them in the box. So I'll have to do my own scream if it comes up, or my own sad violin. Okay, we're gonna get started. You don't really have a nice voice. That's what I said about myself. Said the same words. Yep. Casually eats grapes as I look at Cookielicious. You can change your voice. Yeah, I think I need to like take some maybe some voice acting classes one day just to learn how to get more comfortable with changing my voice. Specifically changing my voices that aren't just like a higher or lower timbre of my natural voice, to see how to be more comfortable with it, so that because the more outside of my vocal range, like regular vocal range, a voice is, the more mistakes I make because I'm trying to like stay in that person's voice. So, you have a lovely voice. Thank you. I was just saying to Cookielicious, I said the same thing. I mean, we criticize our own voices, you know. Mm, almost done with volume 2. People tell you you have a nice voice. But yeah, I told you you have a nice voice when you sent me a voice message. And your accent? Yes, voice is always, I do believe that your voice will sound different in your native tongue compared to speaking another language. Yeah, I love hearing different people talk. Me too. Absolutely. Also, whenever I remember, I probably still do it now. Well, if I were to try, but whenever I would speak in Mandarin, my finger would be moving to like tell the different tones of the words that I'm saying. It's so random. Talking about gesticulate, um, my whole hand be like moving while I'm talking. So. Let's go ahead and get started though on chapter 47. Y'all ready? Also, yes, my conductor finger. It just goes. I don't know what to do about it. I can't stop it. Maybe I'll start using my eyebrows instead. Who knows? So, chapter 48. Are y'all ready? Oh, cookielicious. Why would you say such a thing? Thank you. So, in the previous chapter, let's just go ahead and just refresh ourselves really, really quickly. Sorry. There was a random sound and I didn't know where it came from or what it was. Um, so, for the end of chapter 46, what we have is one of the monks giving Lin Qingyu a brocade bag, opening it with 10 words on it, a name and a batza, and it belongs to our beloved Jiang Dazhuang, is what we're calling him for now, right? And so he has that. So when we get to chapter 47, we have Lin Qingyu is mad that Jiang Dazhuang told the imperial physician his name before telling him. He was like, "Excuse me? How you tell him, but you didn't even tell me? I'm upset. But if you come back on time, I won't scold you." Which I was just like, lovely. Anyway, we move forward. Find out Lady Pan is preggers. So that household, the Nan'an residence, is a lot more lively now. They're not as dead and dreary as they were before. Because everybody was pretty much, it was awful. Like death, cold palace, insanity, losing all their possessions because Qingyu was taking everything. It was just pretty crazy. So, as we move forward, we have Zhang Shuquan, the steward. He reveals to Qingyu that we're just going to say Jiang Dazhuang or Lu Wanchong at the time put him on an assignment to track down someone by the alias of Zhu Yongxin in Sui City. He's a butcher. So then we move forward to the next scene basically. And when he wakes up, Qingyu, the next morning, he feels empty and he's in a bad mood. It says, yes, he felt a bit empty. He didn't know where his heart had gone. My poor Qingyu. He didn't know where his heart had gone. And then everyone could tell that he was in a bad mood. Okay. And so then eventually he has to, prepare himself for the day because he has a 12-hour shift, disgusting, at the Imperial Palace. And he ends up going to help a eunuch who has fallen sick from food poisoning. It was going to be Hu Ji, but he was like, "I'll go take care of it. You're supposed to be doing this. I got it." So he goes, he takes care of this eunuch, and it's past midnight. My poor baby is sad. Poor baby is empty because it is officially past the 100-day mark for when Jiang Dazhuang was supposed to come back. And again, it said the last part of Lin Qingyu's heart is empty now. So before it was like the first part. Now it's the last. So all of it is empty, right? Um, and so I'm gonna read y'all comments in a second. So it's past midnight. He's sad. He's about to leave this eunuch after he's healed him and everything. But what does the eunuch say? I'm gonna go to the page just to remember. If odd change, if even remain the same. If odd change. And he's like murmuring this in his sleep. And so Qingyu goes over to him and he's like grabbing him. He's like, and the sign depends on the quadrant name. And Xiao Fuzi and the eunuch are like, huh? What? What are you talking about? And so here he is thinking that, no, he asks the eunuch, he was like, "Have you achieved your lifelong dream to become a eunuch?" Because of the whole Lao Gong thing, which was the old way to say, it's the way to say old eunuch, but it's also the way to say husband. And so he was like, "Oh my gosh, did he transmigrate into this person?" Which is just really funny. So anyway, He ends up finding out basically about all of the scholars in the Hanlin Academy being trapped, held hostage, is what I'm going to say, to figure out what this code means instead of having like everyone hear the code. And so he's thinking, okay, perhaps Jiang Dazhuang could not make it back in time, and that's why he spread the message so that Qingyu could know he was alive. Or perhaps he needed to hide his identity, and so again, had the message spread so that everybody was hearing it, right? And saying it. So Qingyu knows, with that thought in mind, to not have any special kind of reaction around the crown prince, because the crown prince is the one who set this whole investigation of the code in motion. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that chapter. It was a very interesting chapter, to say the least. But I also thought it was interesting on the final page. He said, after he healed the eunuch, he said, thought, it isn't bad to be a good person once in a while. And that was the same thing he said in book one, um, when he was supposed to eat the ginseng chicken soup with Wan Chang, but he told Auntie Liu no. And then eventually he was just like sitting there like, fine, I'll just be a good person this once. It's just always interesting just to see his thought process toward going to be a good person. So what are y'all saying? Still talking about voice acting, right? Everyone hurts their voice on recording, TBH. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have learned to love my voice after reading it so much. Reading it? I was reading my voice? After listening to my own voice so much, I have learned to fall in love with it. Kind of the same thing with like my singing and everything, which certain aspects of my singing I still don't like. Like when it comes to singing classical music, I just don't like my voice. But after making music for so long and going back and listening to everything, then I just developed a love for my own voice. So when it comes to anyone doing any kind of vocal work or any art, really, but we're talking about vocals, I always recommend that you go back and listen to yourself. And it might seem cringe in the beginning, but as you keep immersing yourself in yourself, I think eventually you will find a liking toward it. I don't think that's scientifically proven, but it's maritively proven. Okay? You can speak three languages? That's so amazing and cool. Who can speak three languages? I'm jealous. NFS. What languages other than English? You can speak English and some random phrases due to vocal the same. It just doesn't sound like you to you. Well, yeah, you're gonna sound different in your head versus out loud to how everyone else hears you. Um, so when I was in high school, I was learning Spanish, and even in college, I learned some. Had a private teacher, but eventually, I was just like, I don't give two craps about Spanish. It's a nice language, but my heart was never in it in the first place. So I stopped. I've lost a lot of it, but sometimes when I still hear stuff in Spanish, I can understand perfectly fine. Um, just don't ask me to speak it. In fact, one of the issues that I had whenever I've tried to speak Spanish more recently is my brain would automatically go to Mandarin. And so, uh, yeah, my brain would think in Mandarin, and there was even one point in time, my husband, myself, and two of our musician friends, we had a show on Instagram where we were reviewing music that people submitted, and we would say it was called Dope or Nope. And we would give constructive criticism and feedback. And I remember someone put out a Spanish song and we listened to it. And I tried to say something to to them in Spanish, and I kid you not. Um, it was Chinese and Spanish in one sentence. I'm trying to remember. What did I say? Um, 我喜欢你的 música. I don't remember what I said. It was crazy. The point is, every time I try to speak Spanish, Mandarin like overrides my brain. So I've just given up on the language. Story jumper. Same you too. We have to learn extra two in school. Extra two? Man, but you were never vibing with German. I love German. German is so awesome. You could poke around a bit of Spanish, but you don't have the courage to speak it. No Paths Are Bound is being made into a podfic. You know, for forever ago, I thought about asking the author if I could, but then I was like, nope. So I left it alone. That's really cool, though. I would totally listen to that. No Paths Are Bound was chef's kiss. And so long. But boy, did I binge it like mad. A lot of people have heard your voice. You did voiceovers for videos. Ooh, a video got 6 million. You got really bad comments on your voice. Well, F those people. F those people. If you don't have haters, you're not doing good. Maybe I shouldn't say that because I don't. I haven't gotten any haters on my channel. Scratch that whole comment. You know, just scratch that whole comment. Not vibing with German. With 6 million views, no wonder you got some. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 6 million? Yeah, of course, you're going to see some comments there. You're like, it's just unavoidable at that point. And the thing that I have learned is that people are always quicker to complain and be negative than they are to be positive. So it's really easy to see all of the negative comments, you know. Um, you know, I think I've only ever gotten like one or two negative comments here, but again, it was from people that like they had been silent until the moment they decided to complain about something. So, you know, people, when it comes to like even leaving reviews at stores and stuff, it's like, oh, I had a bad experience. I'm gonna leave a 1 star and the most scathing review possible. Not, oh my gosh, this was a 5-star experience. If I could give you 6 stars, I would. Let me leave such a delightful review. It's always the negative that comes first. You didn't take language in school because your school path was prioritizing agricultural science. Whoa. If they talk bad about you, that means they are jealous. In some cases, yes. In some cases, they may really just like dislike. Don't summon well dwellers. Look, anyone who has something bad to say will go to the well. Hypothetically, since we're talking about real people. I never learned French, but I sang French all the time because my vocal coach apparently thought that was one of my better languages. Mind you, I hated it, but not because I don't think it's beautiful. I just hated learning. So anyway, let's go ahead to chapter 48 while still discussing all things language, right? So we move forward and we have Qingyu thought of journeying to Yongliang to find his Jiang Dazhuang. But then he thought better of it and he was like, he's just going to stay here and look for clues because he is pretty sure that this man would find him Wu Suo Wei. Wu Suo Wei is no matter what. LMAO, wait, I love that phrase, NFS, don't summon well dwellers. That is pretty dope. So yeah, he's like, this man will come and find me come hell or high water. So I love the faith that he has in Jiang Dazhuang because, well, he deserves the faith. So he thinks about, you know, if he would have transmigrated into a man who was ugly or a woman, how would he respond? And honestly, that scene was just entirely hilarious because he's like, if he transmigrated into an ugly man, he would be so angry that steam would come out of his ears and he probably wouldn't even have the courage to face Lin Qingyu. But then he was like, if he turned into a woman, he would probably accept it after complaining for a bit, and then he'd probably even look for a husband so that he could be lazy and lie around all day, right? And then he was like, in that case, he might as well just marry Lin Qingyu. And I was like, Qingyu, do you hear yourself right now? Okay, sure. Alrighty, fine. So then we have him summoned to the Eastern Palace because the crown prince felt unwell, but really he was just drunk because it was the Princess Jingchun's birthday, right? And he got to a point where even mentioning General Gu's name was like not important because that had been a flex for Lin Qingyu, and it did make him hesitate a little bit, but he was getting ready to sexually violate Lin Qingyu. And so Shen Huaishir had to step in to keep him from violating Qingyu. And the prince was like, well, why don't you take his place? Since apparently y'all are having an affair behind my back anyway. And Shen Huaishir is like, no, I'm not, I swear. I wouldn't, my prince. Whatever. But eventually, the noble consort Chun, she arrives to check on her ill son. And that's when Qingyu remembers what Wan Chong had said when they first met. And it was like, Lin Qingyu, Lin Qingyu, the beauty who died in the Eastern Palace? You know, and so he began to think, was this the moment that I was supposed to die? Had Jiang Da Zhuang been like protecting me like from above some way, somehow, and being able to use the general's name, like, oh my gosh, whoa, I just escaped fated death. And so then we learn about this strange poison called heavenly arachnid, which, by the way, I am not intimidated by this name at all. Heavenly arachnid. But anyway, it's a poison from the north that can only be cured in the apothecary in the palace. And guess who has this poison in his system? General Gu. Of course. And so he has finally been permitted back into the capital. We have, I love singing in German. Yeah, I sang in German a lot too, and French and Italian, but not the Latin. Not Latin. You want to marry him, right? Wifey is mocking hubby and trying to find excuses to marry him. Right, already. He's like, in fact, I'm like, do you want him to be a girl? So that you could go ahead and marry him without thought. Like, Qingyu, just go ahead and admit your feelings. It's okay. It's okay. The prince is a well dweller. Yes, he stays there. The names. It's just Sky Spider. See, that sounds really cool. In the fan translation, Sky Spider? Bro, that sounds so cool. Like, again, not intimidated by heavenly arachnid. It just sounds like some majestic being that should be revered. And Sky Spider just sounds cool as hell. So, oh well. I mean, I'm sure if I had it, then I would fear it, but I don't. So, apparently I have oh no, I said that already. But then I have, this is important. My note, first off, I also have to show y'all the picture of Shen Huaishir stepping in so that Lin Qingyu isn't sexually violated. This is the scene. So, we have a part where Shen Huaishir says, Your Highness, you're drunk and out of control. You'd never do this sober. Here is what I have to say about that. I do not think it is for lack of desire to do so. I think rather it was just simply he has more restraint when he is sober, and the alcohol is just revealing his thoughts, because that's what alcohol does. It's not to say that maybe some thoughts that aren't a person's own, especially if you're one who believes in spirits and everything, especially like in America, we call alcohol, spirits, but most of the time alcohol brings out one's true thoughts and inhibitions. So it's like, it's not for lack of wanting to, simply because he's more aware when he's not drunk. But I'm sure if Qingyu pissed him off enough while he was sober, he probably would. And I'm going to leave the comment alone till we get into some later chapters, but something that is said just verifies it much more for me. You got confused because the fan translation kept calling goo. Goo? Well, there's general goo, and then there's the goo insect. Not a thought of, we can go for a beer after he comes back. Be bros. No. He's like, I wonder what got your hubby on a pool. Now I imagine him to look like some toad sitting at the bottom of the well. Let him be squished at the bottom of the well as well. Cool, and not something to be bitten by. Goo is kind of creepy crawly thing. Yeah. May his ass R.I.P. Nope, he don't need peace. Yeah, alcohol removes restraint, not changes personality. Thank you. I was like, please. Shun Fleischer, go sit down somewhere. You're too naive. So far, you're a nice person, but I'm not really feeling you. I don't dislike Shun Fleischer, but it's just kind of like, you said you're a happy drunk. So on the inside, you're really happy. I have never been drunk before, so I have zero clues. I have been tipsy though, and I get really silly, but I'm already really silly, so I don't know. You're a sad drunk? I almost choked up my grape. We even out. No. Sleepy drunk. All right, are we just naming the dwarves and what was it? Snow White? Is that what we're doing? We got happy, sad, sleepy. Yeah, you aren't missing much. You're too young to drink. You're not missing anything. I waited until I was 21. It's totally fine to wait. Just have a little sip and you'll be like, that's whatever. So moving to chapter 49, Sashurju, which was an even shorter chapter. Anyone allergic, sneezy, drunk? What? No. So we have immediately Qingyu learns that General Gu is returning to the capital, but he thinks there's something suspicious about it because out of all the poisons that the the Northern Kingdom, whatever kingdom could have used, they chose a slow acting poison. This heavenly arachnid is slow acting. Meanwhile, they have poisons that go like really quickly. You trying to win a war, you should just wipe them out real fast. So he's like, no, this is suspicious indeed. And then also, as few people as possible know that not Wan Chong. I say Wan Chong is coming back. That General Gu is coming back. And so, when Qingyu gets home, he ends up having a fever. He makes his own medicine, tells Huantong to go and request his sick leave, and he sleeps and he dreams once again of Jiang Dazhuang. And then he awakes because he's visited secretly by Shen Huaishi, who apologizes on the prince's behalf. And Lin Qingyu is not having it. Okay? He is not having it. Also, really quickly, I just wanted to mention, going back to Western Xia, that's who it was, to them not using something to immediately kill, Qingyu is thinking about what Jiang would call it if they were to use a quick-acting poison. And he was like, it would have been a slam dunk. And I was like, look at you with the modern terminology. Okay, so anyway, he is not having this apology, okay? He was like, you're apologizing for him? Who are you to him? Do you even have the right to apologize to him just because you climbed into his bed? And Sean Fleischer was like, stop. And he's like, no, if you don't want to hear it, then get out. And I love this because this is what, the second or third time that he has put a little bug in Sean Fleischer's ear, basically of like, you're letting him treat you like this, or you deserve better, you know, something to like, boy, if you don't get yourself together, basically. So I love it so much. And let me look at your guys' comments really quickly. You said you're working out while listening, so you won't be participating in the chat. I was supposed to work out while working. Did not happen. Don May talks are a fun motivation. I'm glad to hear that. Get into that gym. Anyone dopey drunk? Your husband. He gets cute and cuddly and apologetic. That's so funny. I think my husband's only gotten drunk once, like shortly, no, in our first year of marriage, because he went out to like a bowling alley with his colleagues or something, and he was drinking Long Island iced tea, which if you don't know, it's very easy to just drink those because you don't taste the alcohol. It was not fun when they brought him back home. It wasn't the worst, but I was just like, okay, don't be mad at him. Don't be mad at him right now. We're just going to discuss this in the morning. So I had to take care of him. It was interesting. He was just apologizing for so many things from like history with us. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? And he was like, you know, you're the woman for me. I love you the most, blah, 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 snore. Oh my gosh, because we had like some issues before with his ex and his mother because she liked his ex more than me, and that caused some like weird things happening. And so he just kept apologizing so much. I was like, please stop. Please just go to sleep. Take a shower and then go to sleep. Biggest alcohol content he could pick. Yes, this is why he doesn't drink them anymore. I take that back though. He's been drunk twice. Yeah. But anyway, but he doesn't drink like at all. It's really, really rare. I'm the one who drank a little bit more, but still not a lot. But because he doesn't drink, it would like stifle my drinking. And then, of course, last year after getting adenomyosis and endometriosis, the drinking could not be a thing. So now I'm just to the point where I don't even care to drink anymore, except occasion, like every blue moon or so. Um, yeah, alcohol's not that great. Shadow Guard sounds like a wife chasing as the wife. Well, if the shoe fits, tie those laces. So, where are we? Yeah, but he's like, I don't want to hear this apology. So then we learn that the Tianyu sect, where Shan Huaishu is from, and his family worked in the shadows for the emperor until 3 years ago. They were destroyed. Dun, dun, dun. And Shan Huaishu was the only survivor. And guess who saved him? The crown prince. So now he just also feels indebted to this man. Oh my gosh. Then we move forward. General Gu is coming back, and the Tianji guard will be watching his every single move because the crown prince is suspicioso. Then we also learned that it takes half a month for Qingyu to get over his fever, his sickness, for him to recover. And then he's assigned to prepare the antidote for the general, to which he was told the wrong time by Hong Chongfang, whichever one it was. And so he arrives late to the general's manor, which at first, the general sounded upset. He walks into the room. He sees his father. He sees the very annoying Chu Zhengde there as well. And that's pretty much all there is to that chapter. But look at this picture. I'm trying to make it as flat out as possible. There we go. Look at Qingyu. Isn't he so cute? And then zoom in, since his face is smaller, to General Gu. Qingyu is literally too cute here. Like, I was looking at him like, sir, the audacity for you to look this good. Please stop. Oops. Yes. I love it when he's using his vernacular. All the little terms he's learned. The man. Raise your hands if you immediately thought the destruction of the guard sect was absolutely done on order of the prince. That was what I thought when I first read it. I was like, ha! I'm raising my hand. I was like, sir, the very person that saved you is definitely the one that did it. I just feel it in me bones. By the way, have you seen the fan art for this couple? I haven't. I meant to look it up the other day, but then I got distracted by something, and so I did not. I need to rectify this. Visual couple fire. So, yeah, I need to look up some art. Let's go to the next chapter, which is chapter 50. General Gu is nervous. Immediately, his whole demeanor changes, and Chu Jungda and Tingyu's father are like, he just went from stern and upset to like, he's okay. And Qingyu can see that he's a bit nervous, especially when he's really close. And then he steps back. He's like, no, I didn't mean for you to step back. But, oh, well, it's done. Like, he wanted Qingyu all up in his face. So anyway, he has to take the medicine daily for an entire month to rid his body of the poison. And he wants Qingyu to deliver it. So after that, Qingyu and his dad, they return home to have dinner. And now father and son are colleagues, which I just think is super cool. You know, they clearly have a good relationship with each other. And so Qingyu asks his dad about the secret code. Like, have you heard it before? And he's like, oh yeah, General Gu said it. And then he's like, that man is an enigma. You'll find out after you spend more time with him exactly what I mean. So the next day, his father is like, he wants to get to the bottom of the whole medicine delay thing. And because he doesn't really have any evidence against either party, Lin Qingyu and Hong Changfeng get docked 1 month's pay. And just leave it at that. And then Huji and Qingyu are having a conversation, and it's not a favorite quote, but I loved that Huji was like, as the saying goes, a tall tree attracts the wind. He's like, so you've been too successful in many things. You treated the epidemic. You're the youngest member of the Department of Imperial Physicians. You're related to the Empress and General Gu. Your father is the head imperial physician. People envy you. Okay? And when people envy you, they come out the woodwork. And they got to start talking, because that's how things go. And so, in the many interactions that General Gu and Qingyu are having, he's starting to feel that this general is very familiar. And I'm like, come on, Qingyu, you're just right there. You're right there, just on the cusp of realizing who it is. It's your salted fish, okay? And so, General Gu invites Qingyu to watch the moon and eat and drink with him, so he can just chat with him. But what does he say on page 115? He says, 今晚月色真美. The moonlight's so beautiful tonight. For anyone who's reading QJJ, or no, actually, for anyone who has attended the Chinese New Year live session, we know what that means. 今晚月色真美. The moonlight's so beautiful tonight. I love you, Qingyu. That's what that is. Venomous snake curled around salted fish. You posted the art of Qing Yu, Wancheng, and a general on Discord that was included in the special edition of Volume 1. Qing Yu is so smart not to know already. He just doesn't want to get his hopes up. I feel that. Let me pull up. Pull up, pull up. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. Oh, Qing Yu. Oh, okay. Ew, that pose. Looking all coquettish, sir. Oh my gosh. Oh, Wancheng. Y'all, look at Wancheng. Oh my gosh, Wancheng is, y'all. This is about to. This is this is about to be my background, my screen. Oh my gosh, save immediately. Wancheng looks so good. And then here's also, let me make sure. Here's General Gu, who is also handsome, I will say. He is. But like, look. Oh my god. Do I have a bias? Maybe. Do I have a bias toward Wancheng? Possibly. General Gu is good looking. And I know it's Jiang Dazhuang that's within them, but at the same time, he's the same, but he was also different, with the limitations of being Wancheng. I've saved this. This is this. I'm telling you, when it comes to my Danmei harem, they are mostly filled with shows. Which, technically speaking, when it comes to Wancheng, he was just nothing because he couldn't do anything. But Qing Yu, he's got to be a bottom, right? Okay, it's rare that like a gong has a position in my harem, in my Danmei harem. Like the only reason that other gongs are there is because I want the show to be happy, right? But there is Yan Wushi, the ultimate top in my harem. And then there is Xiao Chiye, the other ultimate top in my harem, newly added. I love Wancheng's character so much. I love this little transmigrator so freaking much. Okay. I just had to say that. We don't kink shame here, Mari. You and your sick boys. I have realized that I do have a thing for sick boys. Which does, I don't know, because not just sick, but also just like weak constitution, because like Shen Qiao, he had a weak constitution after what happened, without me saying, even though it's like basically in the beginning of the book. But yes, him, Cui Buchu, I'm just like, yes, my little sick boys. Shanlanzhou, yes. My little sick boys. I love them so much. They bring me joy. Wancheng, they bring me joy. Even Gulang, his constitution was weakened, and now all of that, just all of that. I don't know. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Shun shows sick boys for couple happiness. Frail, yes. It's a thing. Maybe I need to get it checked out like today. Empress Mari. Well, as long as I'm Empress and not Empress Dowager, then I'm okay. Oh gosh. But yes, Ting Yu can still come into the harem so he can be alongside Wan Chung. But yeah. Therapist appointment incoming. March 30th, baby. Having to wait for so long because we do 2 months now instead of every 3 weeks, and then every month, and then every 1.5 months. Now we're at every 2 months. Progress. So she's going to hear about this, though. She's already heard about Yuwu, and she also wanted to read it and asked for my YouTube and stuff. So I wish her the best and told her she also may need therapy. So, um, yeah, he invites him to view the moon with him, eat and drink. And I was like, oh my gosh, you did this with Wan Chong, sweetie. But anyway, they do this, and he starts asking questions about his late husband, Wan Chung. And that was interesting. But then, after asking these questions, like, oh, you lost him, why don't you seem sad, blah, blah, blah. Then he was like, do you prefer my physique to his? He asked him, have you heard of the saying, if actually, yeah, this is before that, if odd change, if even remain the same? And of course, Qing Yu is like, nope, never heard it. Don't know what you're talking about, with the straightest face possible. And so, Qing Yu, they end up going to the training grounds together, where General Gu decides to show off his strength. He's like, haha, isn't my physique comparable to Wan Chung's? Aren't I so amazing? Aren't I so strong and manly and handsome? And Qing Yu is just like, yes. How lovely. This is wonderful. Great. And so then we get moving forward. Half a month passes after all his making digs at Wan Chung. This is why I feel like a particular character that I won't name just yet, but I feel like a particular character when it comes to him making digs at Lu Wan Chung. Anyway, half a month passes, and one day, after a class with a distinguished physician from the south who works with goo insects, the general shows up to pick up Lin Qingyu. So cute. So very cute. And then moving forward, we have the general. He wants to pay his respects to Wan Chung. I guess he got enough of making digs at him. Now he wants to pay his respects specifically at Lin Qingyu's place. But Qingyu remembers, oh, the name on his tablet is not Lu Wanzhong. So he's like, Chung. So he's like, nope, let's not do that. I plan to join in March on Patreon. Well, we're in March. Yuwu therapy sessions, yes, they're needed. That's deadpan. I don't know that phrase. What's his punishment for his husband? Absolutely. He's like, sir, I'm gonna need you to stop talking about my Wan Chung. Pipe down. But yeah, feel free to join whenever you want, sweetie. Let's see, 51. Okay. So moving to chapter 51, we have them, instead of going to Lin Qingyu's residence, which he's not had anyone come to visit, by the way, they actually go to the Non-An residence, where the general switches his personality immediately upon seeing the Marquess. And this reminds Qingyu of a certain person, as he puts it, Wan Chung. The Marquess, by the way, decides he wants to entirely ignore Lin Qingyu, which I get it. I ain't even mad at him. Honestly, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, this is your fault. You and your wife were so desperate that y'all asked for help, found out about his birth and everything. Then your wife went to the Empress, blah, blah, snore, rest is history. Y'all forced him into your household, so I don't feel bad for you. But I understand. I understand him totally ignoring Qingyu. Makes perfect sense. So anyway, they, go to pay their respects and everything. And Tingyu calls out, basically, with General Gu spending so much time with him. He was like, what if the crown prince thinks I'm your accomplice? Aren't you not afraid of that? And he's like, nah. And then eventually he calls him out for being a lazy pants as well. And I'm like, hey, lazy pants, salted fish, this is your guy. So we move forward. And when they part ways, General Gu goes to visit the fourth prince and chat and have fun with him. And then we have also the emperor's health is getting worse and worse. So head physician Lin suggests that they use the Gu insect. This enrages everybody, basically, because they're like, you're trying to kill the emperor. And he's like, no, it actually works. Why is it that we can use it on common people but not the emperor? I'm the head imperial physician. I'm one of the best imperial physicians out there. You think I don't know what I'm doing? Okay. But he ends up getting demoted, okay, to 6th rank by the crown prince. And he's not even allowed to heal people anymore, which to me was just really stupid. Like, what are we doing? This is someone of great importance that is needed in society. Aren't physicians supposed to be, as I said in volume 1, like one of the most important things in Great Yu? Like, okay, fine. He can't heal people. But he's not even upset about it. He was like, well, I get to go home and be with my family sooner, so it is what it is. And then we have that Xiao Chang is notified that General Gu went to go visit the fourth prince, Xiao Jie, by the way. We move forward. Qingyu is almost arriving. He's almost arriving at General Gu's identity. He's just so close. He's like, I can't put my finger on it, but I just feel like, yes. You feel like, because it is. What you feel is the truth, okay? So, anyway, he starts to think that maybe the code did not originate from Western Xia, but instead from Yongliang. Ding, ding, ding. He would be correct, obviously. So then we also learn that for the fourth prince's 18th birthday, mind you, which is not something big to celebrate, but apparently it's being celebrated. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. General Gu and a whole bunch of other generals are celebrating the prince's birthday, so Qingyu has to go there to deliver the medicine, to which he sees the generals end up causing a ruckus because they are pissed off at the way that General Gu is being treated, which I totally agree, and they're like, we are about to address the emperor because there's no way that Xiao Cheng should be treating you like this. You have been loyal. You have done so many great deeds for great you. And this is the reward? Excuse me. And I'm like, yes, I'm feeling it. He said, General Wu said, not only am I brave enough to talk about this here, I will also speak up during our audience with His Majesty tomorrow morning. He's like, I ain't playing. Okay? General Gu has fought valiantly on the battlefield for 16 years, garnering countless victories and accolades. He shouldn't be subjected to such humiliation. This is terribly wrong. I can't bear it. And then someone else is like, me neither. And they're like, tomorrow morning we'll report to the emperor. And I'm like, yeah, let's raid this place. Wait, we're just making a report. Maybe I got a little too excited. He said, hello, if it isn't the consequences of your own mistakes. Prince absolutely did this on purpose because curing the emperor is not on the agenda. I'm going to just sip my hibiscus. Mama has this conversation about how emperors have the same blood as everyone else. Get over yourself. Period. Look at me forgetting what month it is. You said I'll join tomorrow. I mean, you don't have to rush it. I will say to you, though, you have until March the 11th, depending on what tier you join, to lock in the lower rate, because the price of the highest tier has already changed. But the price of the lowest tier, it's still the same because the day that my sale expired, the little half off the first month, I went to sleep early because I was so tired. And so, in that time that I slept, when I was supposed to change the price, someone signed up for a trial. And so, with them signing up for a trial, I can't, Patreon won't let me change the price in the middle of. So that tier is still $2, but the other one, the middle tier, the most popular one is $6, and the highest tier for now is $10. So you've got time. um, so yes. Anyway, so I almost started a riot, as you can see, from just talking about the things that happened at the end of chapter 51. But moving to chapter 52, we have where Qingyu does not see Shen Huaishu as a friend, simply as a tool to kill the crown prince. I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. But we have in the apothecary where Shen Huaishu is heavily injured again. And Qingyu wants to help. But Hong Changfeng, whatever, Changfeng, I always forget. He's irrelevant. He ruins this assistance by accusing Ling Qingyu of allowing Shen Huaishu to steal meds. So Qingyu is like, okay, well, I'll just go apologize to Chu. But he ends up going to Chu Zhengde with a medical prescription for the emperor to help him out, and it has crushed goo powder in it. The fact that Chu Zhengde took it, even though he gave him a little bit of a hard time, shows that he also knew about the benefit of the goo insect. Okay, so he took that, and little Hong Hong is thinking when Qingyu comes out, he's gonna get a little gossip. He's gonna hear Chu Zhengde like raging at him and everything. But instead, what ends up happening is he gets barred from working in the palace because Hu Ji reported to the crown prince his treatment of Shen Huaishu. Ha ha ha. This is what I said, when people plot against you and you are a good person, they shall meet their demise. Some way, somehow. Some instances may take longer than others, but they shall meet their demise. So, then we move forward, and the military officials, after 3 days... Wait, hold on. Oopsie. I think I skipped a chapter. I did skip a chapter. That's awful. Let's backtrack, okay? So we have, I was like, I definitely missed something. These generals, they're going to address the emperor. So because the emperor is way more wary of the generals, a lot of the generals feel wronged because they can feel this treatment, right? I'm so sorry, y'all. I skipped the chapter. But they feel wronged. And so the next morning, when they're all going to morning court, Qingyu comes across General Wu Zhan and he gives him advice on how to respond in court. Now, I just really want to go to it really quick because Xiao Jie had mentioned to them that, like, you guys have never won an argument against civil officials. But Qingyu tells him, all you need to say is, what else? So, really, I don't believe you. What you're saying is reasonable, but I refuse to listen. And he was like, don't try to reason with them because you can't. And that reminds me of the other story we're reading offline when that advice was given. So anyway, it was just fun to see that little moment of similarity. So, yes, if you're on bad, you fall into my trap. Qingyu is such a smarty pants. He is indeed. And so he's like, this is how you're going to speak. So then we have this Duke Wu, this honorable general who came out of retirement just to speak up on Gu's mistreatment. So then the Tianji guards were told in advance about all these generals' plans to make things difficult in morning court, right? So the scholars, they were all prepared. Bye, Suki. You're leaving? Hold on. Okay, bye. They were ready to have their arguments, but with all of these responses, like, what else? So, really? I don't believe you. What you're saying is reasonable, but I refuse to listen. They didn't know how to come back with that from that. So I just thought it was funny. And so after court, these generals are still pestering Xiao Cheng, who's stepping in for the emperor for the time being, but Xiao Cheng is not bending. So eventually Qing Yu, he goes to deliver medicine, and he's got his frozen grapes, which my all of my grapes are gone, but General Gu has got his frozen grapes chilling by the pond and fishing, and I'm like, there you go, Qing Yu, there you go. And so then we have at the bottom of page 139 where Qing Yu starts to test General Gu, right? He's like, my short-lived husband liked iced food during the summer as well. And then Gu Fuzhou pauses in the middle of chewing, and it says, Qing Yu pretended he didn't notice. And then he was like, unfortunately it was not good for his stomach, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, if he could ever live a life in which he was strong, had a healthy body, he'd probably eat a few more grapes during summer to satisfy that craving. And then General Gu was like, yeah, I think he would. They say if you really lack something, the more intensely you crave it. And then he was like, perhaps after reincarnating, he'd wolf down all the food he wasn't able to eat before until he was stuffed. And then it said Qing Yu finally realized why Gu Fuzhou insisted on him watching as he lifted the stone dumbbell. And then he thinks he calls him an idiot. He's like, right. He could not do this as Luan Chang. Of course he's gonna flex. So he finally got his confirmation. And then with that, he invites the general to his home to come pay respects to Wan Chang. So we move forward. People were already gossiping about Qing Yu, but now they're doing it to his face. And one night, while Qing Yu was breeding Gu in an urn, which I thought was hilarious, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that he had an urn, I was like, is he preparing for someone's death? But had them in an urn. Shen Huaishu sneaks into the apothecary for ointment because Xiao Cheng was too rough with him in bed. And Qing Yu says that, because Shen Huaishu is like, why do you think so lowly of me? And Qing Yu is like, I don't think lowly of you. You think very lowly of yourself. The way you allow yourself to be treated, that's all you, sir. Period. And so, I'm like, he's just constantly giving him these little nuggets. He said, the prince treats you so badly, yet you're deeply infatuated with and unshakably loyal to him. Like, beyond the presence of Gu that can induce infatuation, I can't think of any explanation for that. So now we're back in the right chapter, the final chapter to discuss for the day. So he said, bruh, in an urn. Yes, Qing Yu, that one girlfriend everyone needs. Never gonna drop that. Yes, and I'm so here for it. So now we get back to the chapter that I initially started talking about, where Qing Yu doesn't see him as a friend. He just sees him as a tool to kill the crown prince. Shen Huaishu is very injured. Qing Yu is gonna help. Hong Hong comes in. And he's like, you're letting him steal medicine. You better, get it together. And he's like, okay, I'll apologize. I said all of that, so I'm not going to say it again. But anyway, the point is he does not win. He ends up getting barred from the imperial, from the palace. So then we move forward. And the military officials, after 3 days, still not bending, okay? But also neither was Xiao Cheng. No one's willing to bend. And despite, though, the officials telling Xiao Cheng to hey, let's just drop it, okay? Just get the Tianji guards away, okay? So then the general hears about this, and then he's like, oh no, all those generals are making the crown prince's life so hard. I should atone for my sins with my life and just die. Okay. Yes, you do that. And while he and Qing Yu are chatting about him being a lazy pants, right? He's like, you were a sickly patient, but now you're strong and healthy. How can you possibly lie in bed day after day and do nothing? Do you want to be a useless wretch so badly? Which, of course, he's like, I just want to be a layabout. I think this is perfect. But they're chatting, and eventually Qing Yu laughs. He laughs. And the sight and the sound of it for General Gu is just like, and he gets lost. He wasn't supposed to slip, but he ends up saying Qing Yu, just his name. And that little slip, Qing Yu responds with, And then he's like, you've gotten so thin. Are you mad at me? I took so long, blah, blah, blah. And of course, he didn't answer at the moment. He just said he was speechless. He was indeed mad. So mad that he wanted to poison this young into impotence once again. I'm like, sir, when you get mad, why do you want to poison people? But that's the end of that chapter. And I thoroughly enjoyed, I thoroughly enjoyed the reading of these. And the only reason I wasn't walking on my walking pad while working today is because yesterday I was too busy doing other things. And so I didn't write out my notes at the ends of each chapter until like while I was working during down moments. So I couldn't walk and write at the same time. So hopefully I can have that together next time, because it's all the notes for the rest of this book are in my phone. But there you have it, folks. That was chapters 47 through 53. Our next session is Monday, reading chapters 54 through 61. And let me just see where 61 ends, because I made these without having like read. I just wonder what the cadence ending is. I think that's a good stopping point. Yeah, chapters 54 through 61, Monday. I do want to go ahead and say that I have a live workshop for veterans. It's a watercolor boot camp for my job that I have to host. That is from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. So this will start, I think I'll put the next session up to start at 2:15. But I'm sure I can start it sooner than 2:15, even when it comes. Or I can set it for 2 and then it just be a couple minutes late. I don't know. I'll figure it out. The point is, we're still meeting. It just might be like 2:05 or 2:10 or something like that. But YouTube doesn't have schedules for those increments. They're only in 15-minute increments. So, but we're still meeting. Everything's still fine. And then this Saturday, again, continuing QJJ. We have officially 3 more meetings left before we are done with volume 2. I'm super duper excited. I'm super duper excited. But I'm also kind of like not ready to be done with this, even though I already read it. But I'm going over it with you guys again, so it kind of feels like I'm still in the moment. And afterward, I'm kind of like, gosh, like, do I read the fan translation? But no, I'm not going to read the fan translation for volumes 3 and 4. What I'm going to do is just work on recording these, and that will take up some time, So, you said this whole time they couldn't go at it because the guards, I forgot. Yeah. Poison Master. Sir Shadow Guard, I'd like to open up your head because you act like you have a worm in your head despite us both knowing there's nothing there. Yes. Salted fish is my spirit animal. Yes. I am a major salted fish, but also not a salted fish. Show me the art. What art? Make sure you have a break. There won't be a break. I'm just gonna make sure that I eat during work, which I'm sure I'll be able to do. Because then after that I'll be perfectly fine. Like the Veterans Boot Camp that I'm hosting, it's not me doing any talking, like except for in the beginning. But it's going to be mostly the artist that we have doing the talking, and then at some point when people have questions, if they don't want to come off mute, then I will verbalize their questions for them. But it's super easy. I've done this watercolor veterans boot camp with them several times now. Actually, we just finished a drawing boot camp with a different artist for the veterans, and it was really really good. So we're all good to go. Oh, if you're talking about the art that came next, it was that I accidentally flipped there, so I it'll have to be a tease. Not showing it. Not showing it at all. You said, "Ooh, that sounds fun." Yeah, it's not fun, but at the same time it's just kind of, like I'm just there for the veterans so they can ask the artist all the questions they want. But because I've done this so many times, I hear her like answering the same questions over and over and over again. So it's not fun, but it's not fun like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this." More so it's like I'm there, just facilitating the event. No need to rush. We can wait. We also have The Wife Come First coming out. Yes, we do. I just have not even um 2 chapters into the new chapter. Um I what was I about to say? Oh yes, I have to figure out the scheduling for that, which I just don't know at the moment because of my break. Because technically speaking, before I decided to take this break, um we were going to start it on March 17th. Well, 16th. But now the last few chapters of Salted Fish are on the 16th. So then we would have started on the 19th, but now it's going to be, I don't know, because my break is also on the 23rd. So we might not get to that until March the 26th. So I totally understand if some of y'all just want to like go ahead and fly through that and read. Um, but yeah, March is just kind of a hectic month. So, you know, I'm just trying to do what I can. I'm really trying. So, without overwhelming myself, because I never want this to feel like a burden. This is my baby. So, you said you're free and you had a question. What's cold reading? Oh, NFS already answered it. Good. Yeah, cold reading is when you read a text you've never laid your eyes on and you have to read it out loud. First time read. Yep. So, a cold read, I don't know if you were there for our, was it New Year's? Just regular New Year celebration, where I did a cold read of Neko's work. And then I think the next day or so, I did another cold reading of Neko's work. Never looked at it before. Technically, also with cold reads, you aren't supposed to go back. Like you just got to go through it all. So you can't be like, "Oh, sorry, I messed up. Let me go back." Nope, you just got to keep going to the very end of it. You said, "Oop, I took too long typing." It's okay. Hmm. But yeah, from start to finish, you just got to do your best. So that's what a cold read is. But yeah, I'm super excited about The Wife Comes First. I'm going to have to listen to all of my videos on The Wife Comes First so that I can like refresh myself on how it went. And then cuz I'm not going to read it again. Um and I'll be ready for volume 2. It's a very fun New Year's for me with that. Yee! You said that seems fun. Oh yeah, and I think someone else mentioned that sounds fun. The thing for the veterans. But so cold reading can be fun, but it can also be very intimidating, especially like the why behind the cold read. If you're cold reading because you're auditioning for something, it can be a little daunting. Okay, if you're cold reading just like in a class and for funsies and stuff, I suppose that could also be intimidating, but it'd probably be less scary because you're not auditioning for a part. Um, uh, but yeah, I don't do cold reading like that. Mm-mm. The only time y'all see me cold read, technically speaking, is when I do the live reading sessions with y'all. That's as cold as it gets. But if I make a mistake, I'll still go back. So nope, not entirely. Not even close to what real cold reads actually are. But yeah. Um hold on. You said you when I read even non-cold, I only focus on reading and any meaning just whooshes away. Yeah, that's something that I have to like combat as I read out loud. And I think I told you guys before that because I'm reading out loud, that sometimes there are things that my brain misses initially. Like, for example, what happened in Thrice Married to a Salted Fish, Volume 1, and realizing that Lu Wan Chung could not see, you know, because, yeah, when it's like, okay, he didn't have a any reaction, any special reaction. It says Lin Qingyu raised his hand, trying to touch Lu Wancheng's eyes. His fingertips neared the young nobleman's eyelashes, yet Lu Wancheng's eyes were still open, looking at him unblinkingly, and the corners of his eyes lifted in a beautiful smile. Words, 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 words. Tingyu's hand froze in the air and then fell away. Now, in that moment, I wasn't reading out loud, but I was reading to take notes. Like, I wasn't just reading just to read and have fun. I was reading to, like, remind myself, oh, is this important? Is this important? And in the midst of doing that, I missed something very important. But yes, the reading comprehension is not as strong when I read out loud compared to when I read in my head. So, you cold read your own fic, but cold reading is pretty common in AO3 since it's more intimate than a more polished pod fic. You can't cold read your own fic, you've written it. I mean, yeah, but like still. I guess you can't, but you know, I mean, yeah, technically it has to be something you've never laid your eyes on, but yeah, you've had to do it for auditions. And that's what I'm saying, it's so daunting for auditions. Man, it is nerve-wracking. It was so long since you wrote those chapters. And we'll count it. We'll count it as a code read. Cold read, not code read. You're 30 chapters in. You wrote the first 4 almost 5 years ago? Oh, that's cold. That's cold. Cold all the way. Okay. Okay. I swear these neighbors are always making noise. I'll be happy when we move into a house. You said, OMG, I admire your tenacity. Yes. Neko will be on it. But yeah. It was, you cringe so hard at rereading your old fics. Hey, it's all the growth process, you know? Sometimes I cringe when I listen to my old music. I'm like, this wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. So, but yeah, I've had so much fun with you guys today. And now I'm just like, what am I gonna do for the rest of my day? Well, I know I'm gonna keep reading Eric Linnaeus. I've already prepared. I'm not doing it today. We're doing it tomorrow, but I have my drawing of my nephew, my sister-in-law, my bonus sister. She recently had a baby, although he's not a newborn anymore. But tomorrow I have a little art sesh with one of my friends, and we're going to be virtual, but we're going to paint together. She does oil painting and I do watercolor. So that's going to be like super duper fun. He said, anyway, you got to go to work. Bye-bye, Neko. Yes. I hope that work is smooth for you and that it goes by like whoosh. Okay. He said, everything is growth. Sure, sometimes that growth is molded by its progress. Yes. He said, oh, so adorable. He is adorable. I would show you guys his picture, but I don't know if she wants like his, picture up. So I'll show the painting when the painting is done, but I won't show his actual, like, I won't show the reference image. So, but yes, speaking of art sessions, I am thinking about going ahead and doing those with you guys because I know we have a lot of artists here. Not everybody's doing watercolor, you know, some people just draw or other kinds of paint, or some people also do embroidery and make little cute, fuzzy, crocheted teddy bears that I really, really like and would love. But yeah, and I want us to have art sessions because like when this probably is not something that would be initiated until I don't know, like April or May. And for now, I'm thinking maybe once or twice a month. Um, but I want to have art sessions with you guys. I think it would be really nice where we could just chit chat and not on YouTube. This would be something that would be like via Zoom or something like that. So if y'all are interested, then of course, you know, you can always let me know so that we can do that because I think it would be really, really fun. I enjoyed doing it with my friend a couple weeks ago and we're doing it again. So you said you do all kinds of art. It just depends on the mood. Yeah, I feel that. Totally feel that. But I just really want to do this because I, well, I suggested it at my workplace, for my workplace, um, because a lot of customers have said recently, and it's for a long time, that they feel lonely, you know, because we can use Discord. Okay. They feel lonely because the interaction virtually is not that great. He said, writing is a form of art, storyteller. Yes, absolutely it counts. Yeah, it counts. Um, they said they feel lonely. And so for anyone who is on my mid or highest tier on Patreon and listen to not this week's story, last week's story, I don't remember, but I talked about presenting an idea to the executive director about doing art sessions, like little art check-ins with the artists on our platform, like, you know, once a week or something like that for 30 to 45 minutes during my operations or customer service hours and my friends' work hours, you know, just so they can feel more community oriented. This was sent 6 days ago. Have not heard anything. Have I been in contact with my executive director? Yes, I sure have. Every workday since then, she has sent me emails about assignments and sent me tasks to do, but has not responded about this. So I am going to send one more email to propose this idea. And then after that, that's it. But I'm like, you know what? Even if this idea that I have cannot be started with the company, and I have already mentioned it twice, eh, I can start it on my own with my people. And that's what I plan to do. Regardless if they say yay or nay, like, you can't say I didn't try. That's all I can say. You can't say that I'm not doing my job because it's literally in my contract to like know what the customers want and try to think of ways to improve customer experience. So just like, well, so we'll see. Why not? I used to do flash fiction with Inktober prompts. There must be a way. Yeah, I'll have to look into how to do that on Discord because I have no idea how to do that. Actually, there are so many things on Discord I don't know how to do that I need to figure out at some point, but they just haven't been a necessity or the most pressing thing, so I have not done so, but I shall. But yeah, if we can meet on Discord, that's perfectly fine. With that being said, then it would just be open to all the people who are currently on Discord and anyone who signs up for the mid to highest tier. Because I have decided, like, after everyone that has joined thus far, it's just going to be an offer on Patreon. So if you are only on YouTube and you got in there, you could stay in there. But the Discord is going to be a Patreon exclusive. And then once we get to like 150 to 200 people, I'm just going to cap it off because I don't want it to be too big because then it won't even feel like as homey anymore. Hi, Vico in the kitchen. How are you? What's happening? We finished discussing chapters 47 through 53 of Salted Fish, Volume 2. Wait, like a video call? Well, who was it that just said? Was it Cookie Licious that said we could do this in Discord? I'm assuming we're able to do video channels or something in Discord because I mentioned Zoom. So with me saying that, if she says, oh, Discord, I'm going to assume we can. You added the poster and the bookmark of the special edition. Let me go look. I'm going to go look and then I'll show y'all. Oh, here's the, can I turn this sideways? Here is, those creases in the art don't look as bad as like their other stuff where it's white lines. But here is the poster. And oh my, don't they look so beautiful? Now let me look because I just showed it to y'all immediately. They really do look beautiful. Oh my gosh. And then here's bookmark number 1. Bookmark number 1. Bookmark number 2. Very nice. Yeah, I think I might get the special edition. Don't know what I'm gonna do about the poster though, because the way that I have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 posters that I have set up, like it's perfect. Well, not perfect, but perfectly aligned, and that would throw off the balance, and so I would have to get some more special editions to then balance it exactly the way it needs to be balanced, which I would have to figure out a whole new way to do that. Because I missed a comment, didn't I? Where is Discord? Asking for a friend. Discord is on Discord. Story Jumper, if you if you send me a message, I will send you the link. I won't send it here because I think I gave chat replay access here. But if you just send the marichan1@gmail.com a message, I'll send you the Discord link. I'll let you come. Okay? I'll let you come there. You added the effect foil to the bookmark. Oh, you did that. Okay, cool. Movie nights, sharing screens, etc., etc., and so forth. If my Lord in heaven Buddha show the way, every day I try to live another day. We can do video calls. Nice. You've also done video hangouts on Discord. Nice. It was pretty art. You can choose to lurk or interact. Yes, we have lots of lurkers. Like, we have specific people that are constantly interacting, and so I remember their faces. Names, faces. And so then as soon as I see another name, I'm like, oh, who are you? And they'll be like, oh, I've been here for a minute. Just been lurking. And I'm like, oh, hi. So, oh gosh. That bookmark was really pretty. Depending on how you're feeling socially. Yeah. And then the other thing is, even if you decide to come on and chat with us, it doesn't mean you got to be there every single day. Like there's another Discord I'm part of, a Kikito Lens Discord, and I'm there like 2 or 3 days out of the week, maybe. I'll be gone, MIA, and then I'll come back and be like, hey guys, how's it going? So, yeah. QJJ will have the last volume as a special edition as well. Yeah. I am fully aware. Because your girl will be getting it. I sure will. Yes, I will. I sure will. Despite media do gaslighting all of us, since it's already close to completion, I'm trusting QJJ, so I'm getting the special edition. So yeah, super excited. Super excited about that. Speaking of QJJ, I really, really want to purchase the audio drama. You have it already pre-ordered. I thought about pre-ordering it, but I was like, yeah, I'll just leave it alone. I'll just buy it whenever I feel like it. But yeah, I probably would go ahead though and pre-order Salted Fish, and yeah, I need to pre-order QJJ. Why not? Salted Fish Volume 3 and 4 and QJJ. I already pre-ordered The Wife Comes First, so that should be coming next week. So 1 hour of workout. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Nice. You better get that workout in. Do it for me. Do it for me because I didn't do it for myself. Oh my gosh. But I will. Tomorrow, we're going to do it. And I want you guys to ask me if I did it. And if I didn't, I will find a way to punish myself. How? I don't know. But we'll get there when we get there. So, anyway, y'all have any questions or stuff y'all want to chat about while we're still here? I think I need more liquid. I'm going to see these space balls. See, hold on. It's a ball, but if I bite it, it's not empty. But the contents inside are so light, it's almost like it's non-existent. And so there's flavor on the outside, but not flavor on the inside. And I was really let down. But we bought them, so I gotta finish them. Sending me lots of strength. Thank you. You were looking forward to chapter 154 of QJJ. Has one of your favorite scenes. Really looking forward to you reading it. Is that where we're leaving off? I honestly don't remember. What was the last chapter I read for QJJ? Was it 153? Where did book 4 end off? Let me look. Oh, no. Oh, so it won't be during the live reading. Never mind. It was 146. So we've got either one or two sessions before we get to that chapter. But I look forward to reading it. You said Spaceballs, like the movie? No idea. Well, I was gonna check and see if it had a space or not. But it looks like it's all together. Spaceballs, Outer Planet Pizza. I have no idea. Time to speed watch The Wife Comes First. You don't have to speed watch. Slow down. Look, unless you just absolutely want to, but you may not know this. I put it up on YouTube in the community, but March the 16th is our last discussion for Salted Fish Volume 2, but then the 17th through the 23rd, I'm on a break, which means we won't be meeting until after that. So you've got time. It is only March the 5th. You've got time, okay? You do not have to speed unless you really just want to, but then you'll be waiting. You'll be waiting. For the Untainted Spaceballs is Mel Brooks' Star Wars spoof movie. All you had to say was Star Wars, and then just nope. I was not a Star Wars fan. Am not a Star Wars fan. Pizza, Spaceballs, Pizza the Hut, Outer Planet Pizza. With this weird astronaut. Mr. Radar and Mr. Coffee. You actually never read The Wife Comes First. You saw the comic. Ah, okay. Well, in that case, depending on your speed of reading, still you can take your time because you got time. So, yeah. Um, The Wife comes first, I think is really good. There I had a hard time with the first 6 chapters, and you'll see why. But like after I talked out my emotions, I was good to go. I think it's a cute story thus far. Comb the dessert is one of your favorite quotes. I have no idea what y'all are talking about, but as long as y'all understand what y'all are talking about, that's the most important thing. Okay? All right. Um, Crap, what was I doing? Oh, okay, here we are. But yeah, we have five, six, seven, eight. 4 books left in QJJ. I will start. What else is coming out? Copper Coins. But that's not until basically the end of April. Just so you guys know, I do have backups. I've got Mari Chan backups in case anything gets DNF'd. Ballad of Sword and Wine is not being DNF'd. I don't care what happens. The story could go completely south and I'm going to finish reading it, but we know that's not going to happen. So all those volumes are being read. I've already read How to Survive as a Villain, so I know that won't be DNF'd. But for the other 2 series that we have, Legend of Exorcism and Kaleidoscope of Death, and then Golden Terrace, I have backups in case anything gets DNF'd. Because I already DNF'd Golden Terrace once, read the first volume, and then read like 60 pages of volume 2, and I just wasn't feeling the translation. So hopefully that won't be the case this time. I won't even release those until I finish, like get to it. That way I'll know before putting out some and then possibly just like stopping. Copper Coins, I won't DNF. I'm already on the final book. Gonna go through it. But just so y'all know what some of my little replacements are, slash not necessarily just replacements, but also if we have more time than I thought, then just adding on new content for the year. We have it gets better and better. I'm so excited for the rest of QJJ. Like part of me wishes I just could just binge it, but um reading it for y'all, so I can't do that. You can't wait to watch y'all experience some scenes in QJJ. Listen, listen. I'm just still waiting for the ultimate hurt. That's all I'm going to say. Because I'm still remembering when in volume 1, and this is not a spoiler, but Shunzitran basically was like, there's nothing that could hurt me. I'm like, okay. So that means something really bad is going to hurt you. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for. And to me, whatever this something bad is, I'm just saying it, it's going to be concerning Xiaotria. That's all I know. I can feel it in my bones because what would Danmei be if it didn't make one of the main characters be in such devastation for the other one? So I'm just like, sir, do you not know that you are in a Danmei series? You think nothing else can hurt you after what you went through? I'm just keep reading. I'll just keep reading. So, and then I got spoiled by something on TikTok as well. Like I clicked off of it immediately once I realized it was a spoiler, but I already know it exists. So now I'm just like, okay, I saw this coming actually. So it's probably still gonna hurt when I read it, but yeah, now I know. I just didn't listen to the rest of the audio. I was like, freak, darn Skapinski, TikTok spoiling me. You can't binge it anyway with 2 books still pending. I can binge it because I have the complete series fan translation. Period. Who's underestimating QJJ? Not me. Not me. Part of me wants you to spoil it for me so bad, but I know you can't spoil it for everyone else, so I know you must stay silent. I can't wait to start volume 6 with y'all. Yeah, that's where I got a spoiler from. At least I believe it was from that this where I got a spoiler from. Yes, love Sa'an so much for him to spur peace. Yes, seconded, thirded, fourthed. Good one. Send me. I don't know. I haven't read it. I just know that it was given to me by in a Google file from one of my friends in my ARHA group chat. It's her Google Drive, her Google files. So she had sent over like several Danmei. Actually, I think she called it her Danmei archives. uh, and so yeah, like she sent. I know she sent me like QJJ, Astrolabe, Bab, Copper Coins, Ding Hai, Fushan Records, just a whole bunch of stuff. Some of these I don't even need because I have the full series already, and some of them may not actually be complete. But she sent me a lot. But yeah, these are hers. So yeah. Wait, I lost my live. There it is. Please, please, please. NFS, I have one as well. Actually, yeah, you can just send it. You got a spoiler from volume 5? So I didn't get a spoiler from volume 5, but I have definitely gotten an inkling from volume 5, or maybe just like character dynamics and some potential things. And so now it's kind of like already in my head. So when I read, I'm just going to be like, okay, is it here? You know, it's not something that my brain will be like, oh my gosh, is this possibly is it? So it is what it is. He's like, yes, please. Okay, please send that to NFS on Discord. You read, let's just say it is a great laurel upon QJJ. I survived the translation for it. You can't wait for us to finish. Yeah. Don't worry, we'll finish it. The one thing I will say though, unfortunately, is that we're probably going to be pausing in the middle of it because I just don't know if it'll be possible for me to binge volume 5 between Saturday and Saturday the 7th through Monday the 16th, because I have a lot of things coming up next week. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try to read as much as possible so that we'll be finished with the book rather than pausing in the middle of the book, which it's not impossible. I've definitely read some Danmei for you guys in like a week or a week and a half. But where is it? It's in the other room. Hold on. Let me do some Mari math. Okay. Doing some Mari math. Hold on. He said, oh no. Oh no. A certain piece of art in volume 5. You got no spoilers other than you flipping through the books in advance to browse the pictures ahead of time. Because insatiable curiosity. I feel it. You just don't know the context. Pictures of how you got spoiled. Yeah, which is why I told Mari. And I told, look, stop telling me don't do something, okay? Because you're just going to make me want to do it. That's all you're going to do is make me wanna. Stop telling me. Like, I was not thinking about it before you said don't do it, okay? What was the first volume I was told not to look ahead? Volume 4? I wasn't even going to. But then y'all were like, don't do it. And I'm like, now I really want to. Alas, she is her own person. Hi, Beanza. How's it going? I said it gives you something to look forward to, right? To get that context. Same here. Spoilers make me want to rush into it. Yes, they really do. And I can't rush because I'm reading this for y'all. And there's only so much voice I have in a day. If you find pictures interesting, you read the pages around it. Ah, you know what you're doing. No regrets. I know you said regrets, but regrets. Okay. I know you did it for a reason. It doesn't matter. The more y'all tell me don't do something, the more I want to do it. So let me just go to, I'm going to try to see hopefully there's not a picture on the last, hold on. I think there's a picture. So let me avoid looking at the picture. Okay, I avoided looking at the picture. 418 pages. 418 pages divided by, well, there's actually no. I don't know how many chapters we're reading this Saturday. I'm trying to do Mari math. Hold on. Chapter blah blah blah, chapter blah blah blah. Skip all these pictures that I see. Okay, if I read from chapter, what's this page 14 through 46. That's 32 pages. So if I read, okay, 59, that's 45 pages. Okay, let's just pretend I get to this. So then 418 pages minus 61, that's going to be 357 pages left for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Wait, I didn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That means I have to read 40 pages a day in order for me to have recorded everything. Okay. That probably means I won't be reading recording Thrice Married to a Salted Fish. Probably. Okay. It's doable. It's doable for me if I read every single day, which typically speaking I do, but then in some cases I don't. Like on maybe a Sunday, if I go to church with my husband, I don't read. So I should be able to finish volume 5 before I go on my break and then just have the scheduled uploads throughout the rest of, that week that I'm off. We'll see. 40 pages. I'll remember that. Me seeing pic at the end of volume 1. I guess I gotta read this now. Cause look. Oh my gosh, what are you knowing for? I totally missed your no. This is your favorite QJJ cover? Oh, yeah. I don't know if y'all saw it. I was trying not to show it too much, but yeah. He said, dangerous. Well, I made it through unscathed. Math. I heard this mythical thing. Nope, lost it. Believe it or not, math is how I figure out a lot of how I'm going to release my chapters. Yep. Whenever I start a new book, I always try to figure out how many pages I need to read each day for it to be complete in 2 weeks. 2 weeks worth of recording, hopefully 8 videos, although sometimes, it goes longer than that. And I'm probably putting a bit too much pressure on myself. Like, I feel like maybe I could slow down, because several people tell me all the time, like, oh my gosh, you read so fast, Mari. I don't know how you're doing it. And me, I always feel like I'm reading slow. But if people think I'm reading fast, then maybe I can slow down and not like try to read a single book in 2 weeks. Maybe I could read a book in 2.5 to 3 weeks and we'll be fine. But y'all be like, oh my gosh, you're so fast, Mari. And I'm like, am I? Okay. But yeah, anyway. But yeah, I always do the math, see how many pages there are, and then divided by 8. Math, a thing of legend. You said you're doing okay? Well, that's okay. You hear it once existed in a time long, long ago. Clearly not this time. I don't like mathing. Mathing and I are not friends. Except for anyone interested in QJJ fan translation. I'll go ahead and pin your message. There we go. Okay. But yes, I think I can possibly get it read before I go on my break. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And we'll see if I manage to do that. Oh, I totally got sidetracked. I was supposed to be telling y'all all of the Danmei that I have as backup in case I end up not liking something and DNFing. Wow, how did I get so far away from this? So, one of the things that I have here as a backup, it is going to be I Am Waiting for the Protagonist to Usurp the Throne Today by Gueyo Laju. This was recommended by someone in Discord, and I was like, okay, I think I might take a peek at it. Another backup, and they're in no particular order, by the way, you guys, no particular order. Nanchan by our beloved T97, Tang Jiuqiang. There is also 300 Years of Longing by Musuli. This would be me giving Musuli another chance because ultimately I don't really care for copper coins, but it's good enough that I can finish it. And then White Cat's Divine Scratching Post. Those are my 4 options to replace anything if something gets DNF'd. So hopefully nothing gets DNF'd though. Like, I really want to like Legend of Exorcism, and I really want to like Kaleidoscope of Death, and I'm really hoping that I will like the new translation of Golden Terrace. That would be divine. That would be the best case scenario. So we shall see. You said yay. I'm assuming you're saying yay to the Divine Cat's Scratching Post. Because I know you've been on that one for me for a couple of times now. I'm like, I know you really want me to read this one. But yeah, those are my backups. So anyway, you were looking forward to all 3 of those. Good. That's very good to hear. Yes, I am super looking forward to How to Survive as a Villain. Again, I know that'll be good. I am looking forward to Legend of Exorcism, but just wary because my first 2 experiences with Fei Tian Yeshiang have been kind of wah. And then Kaleidoscope of Death, I ain't gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous about that one. I'm pretty nervous. Like, I want to like it so bad, and I'm nervous that I won't like it. Why I have these nerves, I don't even know, but I have them. I really do have them. You said the ones that are on the OG list? Okay, yeah. I hope you guys like How to Survive as a Villain. And I feel like Ballad of Sword and Wine isn't too angsty, but How to Survive as a Villain is a lot lighter. So when I know what I'm reading, I try to have some balance between angst and comic relief and fluff and stuff like that. So, I mean, at the same time, even though we're on a pause, as the angst and seriousness of Ballad of Sword and Wine, we do have Copper Coins, but then boom, there's How to Survive as a Villain. Honestly, Golden Terrace is not that heavy either. So I try to have a scope of things happening rather than like always just indulging in angst, because I love angst very, very much. White Cat has a Sundir character in it. It's a bit comedic in your opinion. Okay. You're very excited about that one. KOD. It's a fun book, but it may not be your vibe. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. We shall find out if it's my cup of tea. And if it's not, then I'll put it down so that the legacy of it being great in other people's minds can stay great. You say you think KOD isn't for everyone? I will say, thus far, I've come across a lot of people who thought it wouldn't be their cup of tea, and it actually ended up being like really amazing to them. So we'll see. This is going to be my first book in this genre, period. Like, not even just Danmei, but just period. So he said, love you some angst. Look, don't we? I love to suffer. Like, make me cry. I, do I have a problem? Am I a masochist? Maybe. Binghe, am I a masochist? I'm talking to my poster. I just might be. So, but yeah, I'm excited. So, with that being said, we are finished up. Same. We are finished up for the day. Again, we are now going to chapter. What did I say? I don't remember. Big same. 54 through 61 to discuss on Monday at 2:15. We'll just say that. And then yeah, I'll see you guys, whoever can make it. I will see y'all this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be 8 a.m. Sorry for you guys who are in Pacific Standard Time. 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. 5 p.m. GMT. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. You can convert it because I might have steered you wrong. You're even enjoying a book. How are you even enjoying a book if you're not snotting and sobbing all over the place? Exactly. I actually just had someone comment on one of my Yuru videos of me crying, and they were like, I just love how you're not afraid to cry. Along with the emotions of the story. And I was like, I mean, how could I not? I was like, how could I not cry? So anyway, you all have an excellent day and or night. I am going to put some food in my stomach because my grapes no longer suffice. My tea no longer suffices, and the space balls, they're just not going to do it. So I need to put some yummy in my tummy. I will see y'all this Saturday. Super excited to crack open volume 5. So, the rest of y'all, I'll see y'all in Discord, I'm sure. I will see y'all in Discord and chatting over many things. Ooh, Meg, what'd you just put in Discord? Are you singing? Oh my gosh, you make me want to put me singing too. But I really don't have a lot. I'm gonna check some of these out. Okay, at another time. But yes, bye you guys. It's one of the things that made me hooked on this YouTube channel. Me crying? Wait, me crying is what hooked you onto this channel. I don't wait a minute. I swear that reminds me of, what was it, MHA fanfic I was reading, and Katsuki Bakugo was like, I don't know if I'm into you because of the crying. No, Deku was like, are you into me because of the crying, or crap, what was it? Do you like me because I cry, or something, the reverse? And he was like, this like called asking if it was the chicken or the egg first. I don't remember. Whatever. Since I can't remember, we'll just leave it at that. Have a great day. I seriously need to go. Well, I need